Tonight's game, my God, Wolves. Yuck. Yuck. In particular, second half.
Whooping.
Yeah, they took a whooping, mate. Man United first half. What was that all about? How was a strange performance?
Yeah, well, I thought Man United were good. They
weren't first half.
No, once they scored,
they're the worst team.
They fell off a cliff.
They scored, went 1-0 up, and then Wolves dominated I thought Wolves ended the first half really strong.
Yeah.
And then Man United second half, they just come out.
Wolves are terrible.
They are, mate.
What am I...
That first goal kind of sums up where Wolves are, mate. I said to you, Keystone Cops. Although bodies just flying around the box. Yeah. Like not even... It was a little bit like one of those old, like FIFA games like 15 years ago, where bodies just slide across. You go, where's he going? Where's that one going? Sliding over goalkeeper's coming out of his box, waving his arms about. Yeah. You got players ending up in the net with a ball. Oh, terrible first goal. But then once they went 1-0 up, Man United, they got this habit, United, and it's a terrible habit. They let the game just drift by and they allow teams back into it. Mm-hmm. And at half time, you're going, I don't know which way this game's going to go. Because really, United should have a stranglehold on the game. Yeah. And actually, second half, they did. They had a stranglehold on the game. Once they got that next goal in the game, the third goal, it felt inevitable, and they put the foot on the throat, and then Wolves just collapsed again.
Are you just going to wear this mask for the whole? I can't really understand what's going on here. We're not even talking about Arsenal, and I've got Arteta.
Let's talk about Arsenal then. Talk about my club.
Well, we've got to talk about Man United. We've got some Man United calls. Right. We are going to talk Arsenal. We're going to talk Mo Salah as well. Yep. It's been an absolute shame. I'm going to go to Michael. He's a Man United fan. All right, Mike?
Mikey?
I am. All right.
All right, Mikey?
Not too bad.
What's up?
And I was going to say, is this an Amorim problem or a player's problem when every time we have a first half or a second half, they let the game either drift, or is it drift and they don't perform?
What?
Is that down to the players or the manager?
Well, I'd like to think the players can take a bit of responsibility. I thought that up until the first goal, I thought United were decent. Wolves had one or two moments, but Wolves didn't look capable. Well, Man United go 1-0 up. They got complete control of the game, complete control, and somehow Wolves wrestle it off them. The crowd are booing. The crowd have seen enough. You allowed the crowd back on side. You allowed the players to gain momentum. And then they get the equaliser. You're like, how have I watched the same game from up until when United score, and then United get the noses in front, and then they not only just allow Wolves back into it. Wolves were decent. Wolves were good. Created problems. There was an energy, slick passing. United way off it. Couldn't let a glove on Wolves. You're like, how have they got back into this game? Mm-hmm. It was quite remarkable. But second half, Man United just put their foot on the gas and away you go.
Yeah, Mike, look, obviously against better sides, it is a bit of an issue. You keep letting teams back in. What do you do?
Well, we're going to pop in January, aren't we? When we have the upper nations and we're losing 3 of our best players.
Yeah, it's an issue.
A massive
issue. And who's going to fill those holes?
Yeah.
Mason Mount played well tonight.
Mason was good.
Mason really good.
Yeah,
one of his best games of the season.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming into form. Amorim likes him, so you look at that and you go, okay, well, there's players there you've got that can make do.
I don't know whether making do's enough, Jay. I don't know whether making do's enough.
Well, listen, he's got to perform. Of course he has. He's got to perform.
Mason's been good. Since he's got rid of the injuries, he's playing, majority of games, that 3 and 4, I think he might have scored, or something like that, right? He's actually having an impact on games. Some of his passing is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. Just crisp, cross the grid. One of those passes, right?
Daisy cuts.
We just into their feet, just fizzes across the surface. He's so good at that.
You wouldn't know what that feels like, would you?
Yeah, clearance, yeah. Rosehead, Jay, never seen a steward score a goal, mate. Told you that. You mock, you laugh, right? Some of those Wolves defenders today end up the goal.
I actually think you could do better at the back than Wolves at the moment.
You think what now? Even with my...
I think maybe. I reckon 20 minutes, mate. I reckon you'd do all right. Some of the defending is absolutely comical.
It was Keystone Cops, I'm afraid, that first goal. And Andre, I don't know what he's doing, holding on to it. He's sucking the challenge in. Once you can see them in your periphery, play the ball off. You've done your job. You've drawn him in. He lets him get touch tight and wins the ball.
I don't even think you need to draw foul there, though, or draw even a tackle.
No, you can see him coming, Jay. Play the ball.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Wolves, they could be the worst side Premier League has ever seen. Ever. They're on course to get 5 points, Jay.
5?
At the moment, 15 in, they're on 2. So do that, right? I'm no mathematician, right? When they get to 30...
Yeah. They'll be on 4.
Ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you add another 30, another 8. Mate, they're on 4.5 goals. They've not even got to 5.
They're having a stinker. They're bad. Let's go to Ian. He's a Wolves fan. Ian.
Right, Ian.
Hello, lads. How are you?
Oh, mate. What is going on? I know it's bad, but this is really bad.
Well, there's a couple of reasons I rang up, lads. The first of all is I'm hoping you're going to take the mick out of me and the club, because that's the only thing that's going to make me cheer up a bit. And the second thing is I just want to try and explain what it does to fans when your club is totally disintegrating in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because the owners don't give a monkeys about our football club.
Go on, tell us what we don't know.
Well, they've sold our best players, which is understandable because those players are going to want to move to bigger clubs and for European competitions. That's understandable. I never knock any player that wants
wait there, because we have got Ruben Amorim with Joe Shannon.
Thank you. Yes, Ruben is with me here at Molineux. Very satisfying result for you. What did you make of it all?
I think we did a good game. We disconnect a little bit again after the first goal, and we allowed Wolves to return to the game. But after when we start the second half, the pace, the quality in the connections, I felt that we were going to win the game. So it was we know that Wolves is suffering in a difficult moment. We took advantage in every moment of that. So I'm pleased.
What was the message at half-time? Because the players really seemed to come out with the intensity and the energy that you would want.
It's always the same. Is always the same thing. Is to show them that anything can hurt us in this moment. That we need to, with the opportunities, with the control of the games that we had in the last week, to understand that dropping points take us out of really good positions in the table. So if we know that, we have 45 minutes to change that, and they change that.
Is there a concern in terms of the way the team finished the first half?
No, it's not a concern. Of course, is a concern, but we are changing that, and we stop a little bit. We suffer the goal. We stop 15 minutes to talk, and then they came with a different mindset, and that is the most important thing.
Was it enjoyable to watch your team in the second half? They played some nice football. They could have scored more than they did.
I think we need to score more goals even for everyone to look at the team in a different way. But I think everyone was pleased with the way we played. But again, don't forget that Wolves is suffering and is in the really hard moment. So everything was there for us, and today we took advantage of every opportunity.
Kobe got some minutes for you towards the end. Is that again a sign that, as far as you're concerned, he's still very much got a role to play?
Everyone has a role to play, but sometimes you need a guy for second balls to come in. Today you can feel it when Casemiro felt something that you just need a guy to have the ball, and Kobe is perfect for that. So I don't look at the faces of the players or the name of the players. I just want to win, and for me they are all the same.
And just lastly from me, Ruben, how important is it now that you build on this result? You're up to 6th in the Premier League. How vital is it that you back that up against Bournemouth?
First of all, we need to understand that the game is going to be completely different. And then in our club, it doesn't matter if you win 3 in a row, 4, 5. The next one is really important because it's going to change the mood of everyone. So if we know that, let's work really hard this week. We have a full week to find ways to play better and different, and try to win the next one.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim there with Joe Shannon. Just going back to Ian, the Wolves fan. Ian, you're obviously down in the dumps at the moment. You're saying you're not happy
mate,
with the board.
Well, like I said, they sold the best players, which is understandable. Good players are going to want to move on. The recruitment has been disgraceful, reinvesting that money, and then they made the absolutely scandalous and monumental blunder of not selling Strand Larsen for £60 million when he's only worth 20. And it's just... It just not destroys your life, but as you lads know, I had an amputation 18 months ago, and that feels like a blessing compared to having to watch these football matches. It destroys your life, lads. You know what it's like. And Jamie, you know what Wolves fans are like. they can be passionate, and they can give you stick, but they're also loyal. They turn up every week and they support the club. But this isn't our club anymore. It's been taken out of our hands, and it's just not Wolverhampton Wanderers anymore. It's a Chinese a business, and they're not interested in the football club.
Ian, were you at the game tonight?
No, mate, I don't
Right.
go. Obviously, I've had this amputation.
Right,
but
okay. But a lot of people did stay out until the 15th minute. You must have known people that are involved in that. Just explain to us. That's against the owners, right? Even when they came in 15 minutes, they were...
It's to try and raise awareness, because the owners won't have any engagement with the fans.
Right.
These supporters groups have written letters as conglomerate together for some sort of dialogue with the owners to try and say what's the plan. The club is in free fall. You're not doing anything about it. You don't seem interested in investing in the club. You know, we've spent a bit of money, but how do you replace Mateus Cunha with Fer Lopez? And Fer Lopez is going to be half decent, I think, but it's not a straight swap.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but, look, Wolves have been doing this for a number of years, right? This is no.
We got lucky.
You did get lucky. You got lucky. You stayed up last season.
The Jotas and the Cunhas and the Netos.
Yeah.
We got lucky because we bought them when they were relatively unknown, relatively good money, and they did what they did, what they're good at, turning into good players. And I have no objection to them wanting to move to Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, because they're bigger clubs than Wolves. I'm not one of these delusional Wolves fans who think we're a big club. We have potential to be a good club, a bigger club. But we're not a big club. We haven't got the capacity in the ground. We haven't got the ability to go and spend £80 million on one player. And what they've done is they've tried to... And it came off for a couple of years. And then the lack of ambition resulted in the best manager we've had in 50 years.
You're a bigger club than Brighton, aren't you? You're a bigger club than Brighton. You're a bigger club than Bournemouth. You're a bigger club than Burnley. You say you're not a big club. It doesn't matter. If you run the football club properly... And you've got a strategy in place, and you've got a philosophy.
Palace,
Palace.
They seem to have a plan. These clubs have a plan. They don't mind selling their best players because their recruitment is so much better. Look at Bournemouth. Kirkes, what a massive loss he's going to be. But he hasn't been, because they got somebody as good, if not better, straight away.
Yeah, but mate, look, Wolves have just gone away from any type of identity that the football club's got. I don't know what they are at the minute.
That's another big thing. There's no connection between the club now and the fans. When Nuno was there, they loved him. He was part of the community. He donated his own money to charities. He was one of us. Now there's no connection, because I think you've heard the.
Well, you've got Rob Edwards in there. Look, Ian, you've got Rob Edwards in there. He knows the club. He's, and I think that's a decent step for them to try and get that connection back with the fans, the manager.
He needs sectioning, Rob Edwards. Leaving Middlesbrough to come to us, he needs sectioning.
Yeah, but
it's planning for next year, though. This is not about this season. This season is cooked. Well, everyone knows this season's cooked.
The problem we're going to have is, in the past, we've had Cunha and all these players, and we've sold them on. Yep. We're not going to be able to do that with the players we've got, because the only clubs that are going to want to buy these players we've got play in the conference or the fourth division. No club is going to want to come in and pay.
Well, keep them then.
That's fine. Them and play them in the championship.
Keep them and play them.
And build a team for the championship, and then come back up.
They're not good enough. They're not good enough.
It's a big step, mate. It's a big step up, the Premier League to Championship, and if they're there at the start of the season next season, it's a decent squad of players.
The biggest problem we have at the minute is the total lack of commitment.
Right, Ian, I'm going to let you go because we have got your manager, Rob Edwards, is with Joe Shannon.
Yes, Rob, here with me in the tunnel at Molineux. Tough out there tonight.
Very tough, yeah. What was disappointing is, we clawed our way back and got back into the game at half-time and finished the half really strongly. And, we wanted to try and keep that energy and keep that feeling going out into the second half. We weren't able to do that. But you're never going to win a game of football if we gift away the goals that we did. Those first three were like schoolboy stuff, really. And it's going to be very difficult to get anything from the game, especially against Manchester United when you're giving them 3 goals.
Does that first one in particular sum up the way it's going a little bit at the moment?
I don't know if it sums things up. I mean, it doesn't make it easy for us. And of course, then the atmosphere around the place then becomes more difficult, and we had to drag ourselves out of it a little bit in the first half. And I thought, hang on, we've shown something here, because we started started getting on top. We started pressing them well. They were turning the ball over quite quickly, and we found a way to get back in the game with the goal. So you know, that was an uncharacteristic mistake from someone who I think is one of our best players and a really consistent player. So I wouldn't say that's you know, sums us up. I wouldn't say that, but goals 2 and 3 were really disappointing. You know, transitional moments, we've got to be better and turn the ball over too easily. And yet it's a big strength of Manchester United's.
That period late in the first half was a positive for you. Is that what it's about at the moment, trying to take the little things to help build the confidence up?
Oh, we'll have to try. We have to try and do that, of course. We have to try and latch onto anything that can give us a little bit of belief and confidence at the moment. But it's difficult, you know. But I knew that coming in, and that, you know, these last few weeks have, of course, have been a massive challenge. But it's I don't think really there's anything that surprised me. I understand the frustration around the place. You know, they've not seen a team win for such a long time. So, yeah, big challenge. But we've got to keep fighting.
Yeah, not always an easy atmosphere tonight with the protests against the owners, but can you understand the fans' frustration?
Of course. Yeah, as I said then, you know, they've not seen a team win for such a long time. So I won't go into loads of detail on it now, and you know, there'll be, I get it, and yeah, these supporters have been incredible for a long time, and it must be really hard for them at the moment. It must be really tough. So I understand.
And is it tough to lift the boys after that? I mean, what can you say to them at the moment that can make them feel better?
It was hard in the dressing room after. You know, I'm obviously frustrated and emotional, but you know, some of the things I say might go in through one ear and out through the other, because the lads will be disappointed as well. So we've got to try and just, I said a bit, but then we can review it and look at it and try and learn from some of the stuff over the next few days, because it doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't. How tough will that be at Arsenal?
Well, obviously it'll probably be as tough a challenge as there is in maybe even in world football at the moment. You know, I watched them against Bayern Munich the other week, and they were incredible. So, yeah, I mean, let me try and just get through this one tonight before we concentrate on that. But yeah, we know how difficult that will be.
And just finally for me, do you need something to fall for you, a bit of luck, just something that can get these players going?
I think anything at the moment that will try and get this going. As I say, I felt, you know, and I think the whole ground felt energised for that 15 minutes or so before half time, and we wanted to try and capitalise on that. We really did, and it was we weren't, for whatever reason, we weren't able to. But yeah, we got to keep our heads down. We've got to work really hard. No one's going to give us anything in this ruthless league, so that's the only way we're going to work our way out of it.
Thanks for your time, Rob.
Cheers.
Yeah, Robert's there with Joe Shannon. Get your calls in. Loads to go at tonight. We're talking, obviously, the Premier League game, which was live on talkSPORT. We're going to talk Salah as well, and we're going to talk Arsenal and Aston Villa. Can you win the league? 03 717 22 3344.